It is Sunday morning, and this is Sunday Morning Live with me, Damien Calmet. First of all, happy Father's Day to all the men out there. May you serve with integrity and as an example to all of us. For just a moment before we begin our program today, let us just take a moment to center ourselves. Let's take a moment just to let the events of the week pass us by. Let the monkey mind take a settlement. So let's just breathe in. Breathe out. Let whatever's going on in your mind right now just begin to subside. For just a moment, let peace, let calmness just come over you. Today we're going to be talking about the second step in the 12 steps. When we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Just keep breathing. You know, last week I made a statement, and I'm going to reiterate that statement right now to you again. And I want you to really get this deep down inside of you. Our inner guidance comes to us through our feeling and body wisdom first, not through intellectual understanding. Sometimes people ask me, why do I start out with a breathing process before we start a teaching session, before I start my talks? It's because the inner wisdom and the inner guidance that we have on the inside of us comes through our feeling and our body wisdom before it comes through our mental understanding. And as we begin to take the time to breathe in and breathe out, and clear the mental chatter that's going on in our heads, then we begin to feel that inner guidance inside of us. There begins to be a feeling welling up inside of us, and that inner feeling through our body and through our body wisdom begins to take place. And it's through this that the intellectual understanding begins to happen. So, as I said last week, on each of these steps, make them personal. Rather than we came to believe, I came to believe. I came to be aware that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. Remember, the disease of addiction affects mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical. And if you're having difficulties in any of those areas, you're having difficulties in all those areas. So, what is believing? Believing is more than just thinking that a power greater than ourselves. It is an inner awareness and inner strength that you know, regardless of what the situation looks like, that there is a power that you're connected to that is greater than you, that is going to restore you to sanity. Now, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I think perhaps this is why some of us go through relapse over and over, because we've done the same program over and over and over. And part of the reason some of you listen to me on Sunday morning is because the hamster wheel of the program didn't exactly work so well for you, so you're wanting a different take on it. And, you know, whatever take keeps you on the program of recovery is the take that you need to start working. So what is this power that is greater than myself? First of all, I'm going to give you a couple different types of power. There's a power of someone who has been there before. Someone who has gone the road before you. Someone who has gone the road that is more traveled, that is now going the road less traveled. someone who understands the triggers that you're going through, someone who understands the chemical imbalance that's going on within you, someone that understands the emotionality that you're going through, someone who understands the doubts that you're even feeling right now. So when you're looking for somebody to guide you, my opinion, and it's my opinion, is find someone that has been sober at least 3 years, and I would say preferably 5 years. Now that's continual sobriety. That's not sober only on the weekends or here and there. That is a continual sobriety where they are continually working their program, and they can have an understanding with compassion, without judging, where you're at. That's one power. Now there's also a power greater than yourself, which is the power of the different 12-step rooms, the crystal meth rooms, the Alcoholic Anonymous rooms, the Narcotics Anonymous rooms, the Sex Anonymous rooms, rooms after rooms. There is a strength in numbers, as we've seen in the past week in the March on Black Lives Matters. When we collectively come together in an energetic form of power, there is power in the numbers, collective power, that help us to heal. And as we begin to heal each other in the addiction, we begin to heal ourselves. Now the third power I call the power of God. Now, I don't want to be mistaken when I say the power of God for a religious experience. It is a power that every single energetic source has a power source. The Hoover Dam is a power source. The great Niagara Falls is a power source that all these different energetic, electric energies can go back to that source. We always have a source. Now, this source that I choose to call God, one time moved across the face of the universe. Maybe it was a whirlwind. Certainly, I don't think it was a man sitting up there with a beard, pointing and wanting to make you wrong when you didn't do things right. And that this energetic source has always been with us. But a few weeks ago, on the day of Pentecost, it gives a story in the book of Acts where this power actually came upon us and in us. And the book of Acts says that he gave us power to be, well, the actual word is to be witnesses. So I'm going to word it this way: gave us power to be. And within us, there is deep within us this power, creative power to be, that is greater than ourself, and yet we are part of it ourselves. Let me explain it this way. When you're children and you bring somebody home to introduce to your family, you don't say, "Oh, this is my black friend Tommy," or "This is my blonde friend Stevie," or "This is so-and-so." You said, "This is my friend," period. There's no clarification. There's no judgment. These are just your friends. Now, I'm sure most of us, as we keep seeing the little a black boy running and a little white boy running, and together they come and they hug each other, and it's pure love. So how do I find this pure love inside me? You were created with pure love, with pure sanity inside of you. That was your birthright. And somewhere along the line in our life, we begin to play the game of insanity. You know, mankind begins to play the game of insanity, thinking that it can do things better than what the source and the creator has set up for us. So we begin to buy into what we should be, what we should look like, that we are taught how to lie. You know, "Oh, please, honey, just tell them I'm not here right now. I don't have enough money. Whatever the lie is, we are taught how to lie and how to steal and how to manipulate. That is not what our character is. Our character is that pure love. This power energy is an energy of loving inside of us. Somewhere we lose that because we fail to understand that we can be restored to this. How are we restored to this? We're restored to this through a feeling that comes into our body, through our intellectual understanding. Now, when I do this breathing thing in the morning, and I talk about the inner guidance comes through our feeling and our body was the first. I can't let go of that this morning, because as I begin to breathe in, I picture my consciousness going deep inside of me. Now, I was born with the name Steve. And there are times that I go in the bathroom, I look in the mirror, and I ask little Steve to talk to me and to give me the answer. Because little Steve has no insanity. Little Steve has that pure innocence. That little Steve has no judgment. That little Steve has no hatred. That little Steve has no prejudice. That little Steve is that God creation inside of me that has all wisdom and all knowledge. So when I'm triggered for a bad behavior, when I'm needing to have wisdom, I will go and I will look in the mirror eyeball to eyeball, like I'm looking at you right now, like I'm looking at Jaime right now, like I'm looking at Reed right now, like I'm looking at Sean right now, and I will say to that person looking at me, I say, I need to understand what the real truth is in this. I need deep inside me to understand how to deal with this emotion. I need you, who understands all inside of me, to restore me to that place of sanity. Now, religion calls it righteousness. I call it right thinking. There are so many times I have faulty thinking, and I have to just stop and say, I need to be restored to right thinking right now. So as we begin to end this talk this morning, and then next week we'll go into the third step, but can you just breathe with me for a few minutes and just breathe in right thinking? You know, just as you breathe in, let your body express right thinking. You know, let that inner guidance come through you and in your feeling and in your body. Just go. Breathe deeply into that inner child. Know that you are loved. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are forgiven. Know that you are connected to a power greater than you that is also part of you. Breathe in that inner wisdom. Just for today, breathe in that inner guidance. Let that frustration go by the wayside. Let that anxiety just pass through. Breathe into peace. And I came to be aware that a power greater than myself can restore me to right thinking, can restore me to sanity. And in this moment, so it is.